Hey guys, this is Jordan, and today I'm going to make a detransition timeline thing. Basically, share the year of changes and stuff, and basically, all of my videos are going to be combined into one, just to like sum it all up and to make it easier to digest and stuff. So right now, I'm about a year or so off the hormones and stuff, and yeah, it's been great. I don't feel gender dysphoric or anything anymore like that. So I was able to eliminate this body disorder out of my life. But it still has kind of haunted me because of some of these old videos and stuff.
My face totally just fell off.
Yep, and I was able to do the voice and everything. So, I was a legit trans.
On what has
It's
happened.
been kind of like the ghost that kind of like is like kind of cursed into you, I guess. Like I feel almost cursed or hexed by like a witch or something because like I had that first video where I was like, transitioning into a woman, and basically a bunch of people were like, thinking I was like, you know, trans-identified male. They thought I was like a man on estrogen, and which I was, yeah, but like they thought like that's what I was gonna do for the rest of my life. And no, I don't think I'm, I wouldn't go down that road. Even if I was given like a second chance to do it, I won't even take it because it's not good for your health, it's not good for your mental health, it's not good for anything really. Also, the only ones that I find that can really benefit from it are the ones that say they can benefit from it. It's not really a thing you can measure. Like, you can't really measure how happy and successful and, you know, a person is after getting cosmetic surgery and stuff because there's so many variables in their life that, dictates their happiness, and you can't really, scope in on this one thing. Like, for instance, if you got, bottom surgery, like, is that going to benefit your life in the first 2 weeks after you get it? Probably not. However, I'm just going to take their word for it because I have no idea how they actually feel because I'm not in their head. So here's what I'll say then. I mean, maybe people with like extreme body disorders and stuff can really benefit from it, and they can live a fulfilled life where they feel like they can basically live in a world where people assume that they're this other gender, and they can feel happy about that. And that's a good thing because it shows that like, everyone can have a different story and, effect by just taking hormones and stuff and social conditioning. So it really shows me that there's a diverse kind of thing to this, which I never really understood that. Well, I mean, I did for a while. Like, granted, I was that for like 3 years, and, it felt great. I realized throughout my journey that I've had internalized kind of man hating thing where I just dislike males. I dislike myself being a man because I was always told growing up that like men are like the problem people. They cause most of the issues. Like I've been researching this stuff, and apparently men and women have the same amount of domestic violence as each other, except men are a little bit more dangerous because we're stronger for one and more sexual for one. Like if you looked at the crime statistics, it's about like the same for like that. And I think, men would benefit from like a domestic violence shelter that's exclusively for men, like how women do too. But that's besides the point. I got a lot of this information from the Red Pill, and it's like this movie that's about this feminist that goes and sees like MRAs from their perspective. And it's a very interesting kind of topic where she kind of discovers that you should go watch it. Basically, she learns that like to be a little bit more moderate, and like, men also deal with issues too, and it's not all like men are evil, women are like good. There's a lot of women that are also bad. There's a lot of women that are gold diggers. There's a lot of women that don't contribute to society. There's more men that are going into war and stuff and losing our lives for it. And there's this component where it's like men are protective and they, serve our country mostly men serve our country and make all of us feel safe and protected. but then there's also this group of men that's also like hurting women, and it really depends. There's a diverse group of people, really. I kind of hated myself because I was kind of connected to this group of, I felt like men were just sexist, and feminism should really benefit people. It shouldn't make them go down a road like this. And basically, I think I might just like be feminine, bisexual, gay, whatever you call it. And that's just what I've been for like a lot of my life, since I was probably like 12, and I was feminine before that. And I know a lot of like guys growing up that probably have a different sexuality, or like, probably a little bit more feminine growing up, and that's just how we are. That's just how it is a lot of the time. And that's just an indication that you might be. But it's not always an indication, obviously. There's some men that are straight and they grow up feminine and stuff. I'm not like, a person that, thinks he's like better than like trans-identified people. I don't think I am. I think I just found a different way out of this thing. Well, most people can't find it, an out to this. People go down cosmetic surgeries, they can't get out of it. They can't, because it's like, you just want more and more and more and more, and it gets addictive. And I just realized that. And also, people start to think this is like their identity. Like, if you've done research on anorexic people, a lot of them begin to think this reduction in weight is their identity. And if they lose that identity, they start to get scared, because they start to rely on this thing, this body image in their mind, as their identity, because it makes them feel safe. It makes them feel like this is a consistent thing in their life. And if that thing changes, they start to feel scared that there's something wrong with them, because they've attached their identity to their body disorder. And basically what happens is, if you try to remove this body disorder, this thing that they have attached themselves to, it's gonna, make them feel very disconnected. They're gonna feel very depressed and sad and even suicidal. And that's why a lot of trans people need to take hormones and stuff, because they have this body disorder that, it's not as bad as anorexia is, granted. They have to rely on this mental disorder to make their identity a reality, in a sense. And it's much like how anorexic people are. And there's a lot of similarities. If you research anorexic people, I highly recommend looking at some of that, because the similarities are very daunting. And anyone who says otherwise has, they don't have a brain to really think with. And they don't understand that there's a lot of similarities. The complexities of anorexia nervosa almost mirror that of gender dysphoria, because you have this idealized version of yourself in your mind that isn't grounded in reality and isn't healthy for your body, and probably isn't healthy for your mind either. Like, anorexia, gender dysphoria have been around for hundreds of years, so there's always been this body mental disorder that's existed. And I believe it's probably going to exist for a long time. I believe there's going to always probably be some people that have it, unless there's like some type of pill that erases it, kind of like Blair White says about in his videos, which I really respect him for that. Body disorders are also very addictive. Take it away, past me. Realized I was just going to get more and more addictive to it, get more and more, I was going to get cosmetic surgery, facial feminization surgery, as if I need that. I already have a pretty feminine face, I believe, for a man. I was going to get like a breast augmentation, because, hormones didn't do much. I was even thinking about cutting my collarbones off by like an inch on both sides, because I was like, my shoulders are way too broad and I should get like a bone saw and get those cut off. So I was like completely crazy, I think. And I was even thinking about getting like a rib taken out, or like wearing like, and I thought I could do it because I wore a scoliosis brace. Like, I thought I could like get like a corset and get like, because I saw I saw a trans-identified male get that, his ribs taken off and breast augmentation, all these surgeries, and I was like, yeah, that's me. But, I might just be like a total bottom. I don't even know. Like, yeah, You know, I haven't really explored my sexuality that much to even really know. That's the thing. And I think like this whole exploration of like gender before sexuality is really stupid actually, and we should really focus on exploring sexuality and clothing before you're even like exploring whether or not you want to like cut your Adam's apple off or like take estrogen or like cut your penis in half and invert it. Like it's like you got to think about this stuff before you get into like the really out there stuff, you know? Like wear a dress sometimes. Wear your hair in a different way, you know? It's like some fun simple stuff, and I want to make this video for any guy that feels like he's like trapped in the wrong body and like there's no other way, and it's like, you know, there's a lot of playwright fans that think like they're like true trans, and you know, that's cool. Like I always thought I was true trans too because I had all the symptoms of it. But the point is, no one is really for sure with what they are or what they think they are. No one is. You could ask like 1,000 people if they feel okay with the job that they have. Without a doubt, some of them would have some throughout their lifetime would have some doubts about the job that they picked or the spouse that they picked or any of this stuff. Anyways, here's all these videos combined together to form one massive video of realizing that I'm just no woman. I'm just no lady. I'm just, you know, I can do a voice like this, but not be a woman. So it's crazy, right? Right? All right. Let's see what you guys think of these.
My face totally just fell off. I'm just kidding. Okay, so I'm gonna just start from head to toe on what has happened to my body on HRT, and this has been happening for about 6 months, and yeah, so starting head to toe, I think that, I don't know, I think this might be a little bit delusional.
Say it again, brother.
But my hairline has kind of come forward a bit more and gotten thicker. I don't know though. My eyebrows have definitely thinned out on HRT. I don't know if that's a side effect from it, but my body, you know, hair has just thinned out like right here. My skin has gotten a lot clearer. I don't get acne at all now because my hormones are pretty regulated and they don't change. And I don't get any facial hair at all because I'm on HRT and I didn't have any to begin with.
You see, this is one of my many lies. I had actually started to get a little bit of a mustache and like little facial hair on my chin when I was like 14. And my sister actually judged me for this, so I'd pluck those off. But like the fact that I said that I had no facial hair was a complete and utter lie. And I can't prove it to you because this bozo over here, he deleted all of his photos because he was ashamed for growing a mustache. Like, come on.
So I can't really talk about that.
Did you see how I paused for a second there? I knew I was lying, and whenever I'm lying, I notice I pause for like a second to like regroup my train of thought. I kind of stare off in the distance.
And my voice has always been pretty high, so I don't know if there's a difference with that.
I should really do the psychology of like myself and other people who are trans identified. But anyways, this was a complete lie too. But you can see how I just kind of stared off and I wide-eyed kind of stared for a second. I didn't pause what I was saying, but I still just kind of stared wide-eyed.
I sound pretty much how I did before HRT, so yeah. My shoulders are about the same. My arms, like that. I'm slightly more fit than, you know, regular women, or, yeah.
Sometimes I do stutter when I'm speaking, but you can see that was like an obvious kind of lie, kind of stutter where I was like, yeah, and then my shoulder kind of went back for a second. It's kind of obvious that I'm lying. I'm not an athletic woman. I'm like a skinny little man in this video.
And yeah, because like I work out sometimes.
If this is what sometimes working out looks like, this is this is pathetic. Look how skinny my arm is. That's how it looked. You could break that thing like a chopstick.
And then my skin is just softer everywhere. My body hair is basically, you can't see anything. Nothing. And then my hands are about the same. I paint them every day though. Not every day. I paint them.
Oh yes. I paint my nails every day too. Look at this. Ha ha ha! I paint my nails every day. What a weirdo. Gosh, so cringy in this video. Why do so many of you watch it?
That's not a difference because of HRT. Then I have a little bit more of a chest than I used to. It's not completely flat, though it's not that prominent because, you know, males on estrogen don't get a lot of stuff here because we're not biologically prone to it. So it would make sense that I would have a big chest because of it, and also because my weight is very low. I'm almost underweight, but that's kind of why. And then I don't know if I want to stand up for this. My waist is about the same as it was prior to HRT, and I know this because I've gotten scans of my body because of a condition I have, so I know it's about the same. My hips though, on the other hand, I don't know if these are really wider, but I still have like
Thin spo right there.
Yeah, they're just slightly more curvy than they used to be. My legs have like no hair on them, basically, and the hair that is there is like very thin. And then I guess I'll get to the sexual stuff. So
I'm so sorry. You think there's actual sexual stuff I could get into? I literally nuked my sexual drive. Men need testosterone to function, to have a sexual drive. Same with women, but in a smaller amount. However, that is my most watched video, or was my most watched video on YouTube with 45,600 views. And this was the most watched video I've ever gotten on YouTube. It's me like saying I'm like a woman basically. So it can really go to show that you can be as inauthentic on YouTube as you can, and people will think it's still authentic because people really can't tell the difference between authentic, inauthentic, whatever.
guys, this is Jordan, and today I want to update you guys on my transition, or their lack thereof. So basically what's happening is I'm going to be detransitioning, so I'm going back to just being a regular guy instead of taking estrogen, basically. And yeah, I just want to update you guys on that. I'm not going to get too deep into this. I don't know how deep I'm going to get into this, but basically why I'm stopping is because it's been amplifying my depression, and it hasn't been treating my body exactly right, I feel like, because of all that. And also I've been feeling more and more comfortable with my natural body, so yeah, I didn't want to change it anymore. And also because I've researched a lot about bottom surgery and stuff, and it's just really scary. And I've researched about some long-term hormone effects, and basically what's going to be happening is my reproductive organs could be completely shut down and I become completely infertile, which I already knew. And basically I don't, since I've been on the hormones, I don't get aroused as much, and if I do, it doesn't really last that long, so that's another thing that's happened. And also, I haven't been feeling more masculine lately, so yeah. But basically what is going to be happening is I'm going to kind of look more masculine again, and obviously I still want to be really feminine and be pretty and beautiful, because I think guys can still be that, and still wear makeup, do my nails, stuff like that. I don't think of that like you have to switch genders over that or whatever. I think I was just a confused person when I first started hormones, because the thing is, I had a lot of mental health problems before I started taking hormones and castrating myself and feminizing my body. There's a lot of issues. I had body issues. I had an eating disorder. I had body dysmorphia, and some stuff had been happening with my family, and then COVID happened, and I didn't have many friends, and I suffer from a physical illness that gave me more and more body dysmorphia, and it just all culminated together to make me try to find somewhere to make me feel safe, to make me feel accepted. And I thought, since I grew up so different from most guys, that maybe I could find support in the trans community, and it just wasn't worth it for me, because it just ended up making me feel more and more isolated, and I lost part of my family because of it, because my gender dysphoria started getting really bad to the point where I lost part of my family, and I lost my best friend, and that was a few years ago. And recently it's just been really dawning on me. I've had very lack of motivation from the depression, and also I just want to be done with this. I don't want to continue, because like recently my hormones, my testosterone has risen back up, and my estrogen had also risen, and they put me on more medication to reduce my testosterone, which just ended up making me feel more depressed and stuff. And I didn't like how it was making me feel, so I decided to slowly quit. The last few weeks I started this channel kind of like in a weird spot with my whole transition, and then the last few weeks I've been trying to figure out if I was just detrans, and I finally figured it out, and I'm fine with that. And also I accept the changes that have happened to my body as a result of the hormones. So basically I'm going to be documenting my detransition and just looking a little bit more masculine again.
Yeah, right. What is this?
Ooh, senpai.
But still, being feminine, obviously. Yeah, I think I might get a haircut.
I stand by most of the stuff I said in that video, and only little has changed about my opinion. But I might leave that on YouTube, or I might re-add it to YouTube again later. But right now, I'm trying to lessen down on these videos that I produce. Hey guys, so I want to do an update because recently I got a new phone. This video did an amazing job at explaining basically all those changes within those 3 months. So I highly recommend you go and watch that video if you're liking this video so far. Hey guys, this is Jordan, and today I'm thinking about retransitioning back into a woman.
Actually, I changed back into a woman a while ago. These are all old videos. I've been lying to you guys this entire time. Here's my a recent video of me being fun fab femme.
You think I'm pretty without any makeup on. You think I'm funny when I punch you in the face.
I'm just kidding. I'm actually, lying about that.
No, these are just some joke videos I did a while back, wearing a dress, pretending I'm a woman. I thought it was kind of funny. Maybe it's not. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Hi guys, this is Jordan, and on this
For a
channel
while
we talk
after
about
my
detransition,
detransition, I just
mental
did
health issues,
a lot
body
of
issues,
gender
issues
critical
that
content
So
where I'm
today
basically saying how dangerous transition can be and showing some examples of that, reading off some side effects, doing research for my channel. And I come to realize that it's much like smoking, and there's nothing you can really do except warn people about it. Then I got into this whole idea of like nonconformity, gender nonconformity, wearing makeup, wearing colorful clothes, stuff I felt like I couldn't ever do because I was a guy. And I felt like only men that took like estrogen or like were super gay could do that stuff. Some of the only real side effects that happened to my body while I was taking estrogen was that my arm and leg hair really thinned out. My facial hair kind of thinned out too, but I still had to pluck it every single day or like shave or do something like that. Like I stopped shaving back in October 2023, and this is like November 2023, which was very weird for me because like naturally my leg hair is pretty, it's more thicker. Like if I'm not taking any type of drug and I'm not shaving my legs, here's what they look like. This is like what they naturally look like, total natty right here. Then here's me without shaving on estrogen. You can still see that I have a little bit of facial hair, and they say, oh yeah, it's all going to go away on estrogen. No, it doesn't. When you have facial hair, it doesn't go away. I mean, off estrogen, my beard by no means is like a thick kind of thing, but I can grow it pretty long. It can grow like 3 inches, and then I'll just like cut it off because it's still pretty thin. But that's what I look natty. That's me naturally. No synthetic hormones. That's me on synthetic hormones, and I was dealing with an eating disorder too, so that's why my arms look like so-called chopsticks. But off hormones, and this is with just working out a little bit. Like I don't work out that much, and I worked out a lot while I was on my trip, so that's kind of how I look, kind of natty, nothing, that's just me there. Here's me when I just got off the synthetic estrogen and testosterone blockers, and you can see that I did have a little bit of gynecomastia, and that's why it's like puffy like that. It only does that sometimes though. But some people are saying, oh, that looks like a female's breast. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Like, realistically, it doesn't. And, I was a little bit more skinny fat than I am now. And I honestly thought people would come up to me on the beach and be like, oh, you got boobs or something. But look at me. I'm not like, it doesn't look like that. And that's me off the pills, and that's all natty. And even still, I sometimes get them kind of like that, or they kind of get puffy and stuff. But it's like, no one cares really. It's like, it's not that bad. Like, really. The pills can't do much. I kept hearing people saying like, oh, like you're gonna go bald if you're like a man and you have like testosterone in your body and stuff. So I would check if my hairline kind of looked like this guy's. This is a haircut I wanted for a while, but even this guy, he doesn't even have it that bad. But like they kept saying like, oh yeah, you're gonna go bald very quickly. No, it's not like that. A lot of men, it takes a very long time to go bald and stuff. Also, people go bald, not just men. Like 30% of women kind of go bald too, and like 90% of men at some point in their life. And that's if they're lucky to live that long. Like, it's a privilege to get old. Why don't we think of this as a privilege to like age and get old? I think a lot of cosmetic altered people that want to do it just want to look younger. And then people that are trans identified want to reverse puberty. And it's just all part of aging. Like, accept that this is what your body goes through. Like, they can't do it though. Like, puberty is just aging too. Just like getting old like these people. Like, it's all natural and normal and expected. And it's like, it's body dysmorphic if you go against it, I guess. However, it's also natural to explore your style, your mannerisms, who you like, who you fall in love with, all that sort of stuff. And that's the part of the trans-identified people's experience that I do like. You see, this is what I don't like. I don't like it when people do this to themselves, or like get like a breast augmentation, or like, you know, get all this facial feminization, kind of sexist surgeries and stuff. It's weird to me. And weirdly enough, it wasn't weird to me while I was in the throes of it. But now, like, I've seen like steroid women, all this sort of stuff, and I'm like, whoa, what was I into? I often think about how I got into all this stuff, and I think I was around 16, and obviously I was feminine, probably bi, gay, or whatever, and I looked this up on Quota, and then I got really into it just from like a Quota post or whatever. The advice I would have given myself then is, don't listen to everything you see on the internet. Some of it is a complete and utter fabrication and delusional thinking. So that might have stopped me. Who knows what would have. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me just kind of coming to terms with myself and just knowing who I am, just knowing what I am, and knowing that like synthetic hormones don't make you a different gender, surgeries don't, identifying as something else doesn't. And you know, it's a fun concept to me, and I actually had thought about like, you know, maybe I could like identify as like non-binary or something, but then I'm like, no, that's like kind of redundant, because it's like we have men and women. There's no like third category of human gonad that like produces like and it like can like fertilize both men and women, and then like men can get pregnant from it, and then women can get pregnant from it. It's like, no, there's not like some type of third sex cell that like can do that. Like, we don't have trunk people in real life, like in Rick and Morty. Like, sorry about this intro, I'm dirt at it. But anyways, I've learned a lot, just, you know, over this last year that I've been off these pills. And, you know, it's like, sure, I want to get more together in life and feel more complete. And I think that was one of the reasons why I took them. And, you know, I think, like, trying to get farther in what I want to do in my life will, like, benefit me the most. And the relationships I build, and, you know, it's all challenging to me, though, because of my disabilities. You know, I'm going to try to enjoy the rest of my life and not be something I'm not. Because being something I'm not has never worked out for me. And I don't think it works out for anyone, really. Even these people that are, like, trans-identified. And it seems like, you know, like I said, like the clothing and the styles and the mannerisms, those are all fine. Those are part of who they are. And I love that. That's awesome. I'm glad that they can be their authentic selves. But, you know, these surgeries and hormones and all this other stuff isn't who they are. It's not who anyone is. It's all like their unnatty selves. It's like, you know, when a steroid woman takes steroids and testosterone and stuff, that's not her naturally. Obviously, it's not. It'd be ridiculous to say so. And obviously none of this was my natural self either. So a lot of these old videos that you see is like a very lost like man that is trying to find himself. And, you know, I think he did it in many different ways. And, you know, he did what he thought he needed to do and to live in this world and to survive. But, you know, he just didn't know how to. And, you know, still to this day, he's growing and changing and trying to be the best person that he can be and, you know, do good for this world. So to wrap this all up, I'm hoping that you guys have a good Christmas. And oh yeah, I almost forgot. That video that I'm going to be coming out with is either a detrans Reddit one, or it's going to be like the get to know me tag. I'm feeling like I need to kind of pass through this year and get all this stuff out of my way, and, you know, just be kind of closing this chapter on my life. I've been trying to do that for like a year, but this one video has been holding me back from just succeeding. And it's like, you know, it's like a chain on the bottom of the ocean tied to like a stone, and I just want to escape it. Okay, so I'm gonna get done with this video and I'm gonna feel so much better. Not only that, I also got very crazy comments from very crazy people. I'm so glad those are gonzo. I also got good comments too, where people were actually worried about me. So that was nice.